the 2024 Acura ZDX. I did a video before on the previous generation ZDX, and I was surprised at just how many people had no idea what that vehicle was. But here, Acura brought back that name, the ZDX, and clearly it doesn't really mean anything to most people, but it doesn't matter. The product seems very good. This is a full EV and the first EV from Acura, and it shares its underpinnings with the Honda Prologue and the Chevrolet Blazer EV. That's right, Honda and GM, they have some partnerships going on now. We even see the Super Cruise function being used in this new Acura ZDX, and I'll talk more about that later on. But this new ZDX fully electric SUV is going to be available in two trim levels, an A-Spec and the Type S. The single motor ZDX A-Spec is going to have 340 horsepower, and it's going to have a range of 325 miles, which is not bad. A dual motor all-wheel drive A-Spec will have a range of 315 miles, but we don't know how much horsepower it will have. Perhaps like 400 maybe, we'll have to see. But the Type S, that is certainly the spicy one. It's only available as a dual motor all-wheel drive, and the Type S is going to be making 500 horsepower, but the range is going to be 288 miles. But as we can see, even a base A-Spec with 340 horsepower is pretty legit. That should be enough to make this effortless and extremely quick around town. So I'm very happy to see that. And the Type S, for the people who can afford it, 500 horsepower with that instantaneous torque will be excellent. And power isn't the only reason to go with the Type S. We also get adaptive air suspension, bigger Brembo brakes, and massive 22-inch wheels. So the ride quality is what's really going to concern me with the Type S version of the ZDX. The A-Spec models will come with 20-inch wheels. Yes, the Type S does get the new air suspension, but I'll be honest, in some cars, air suspension can feel kind of jittery. It's really the full-size flagship sedans like the Mercedes S-Class, Genesis G90, Audi A8, things of that nature. Those vehicles have a nice plush air suspension ride quality to it. Others that I've experienced, they can feel kind of jittery and not that comfortable, especially when combined with massive 22-inch wheels, like in the case of this Type S. But obviously, we can't judge it until we drive it. What I do like to see is the multi-link suspension architecture being used for all of the ZDXs, and that is great. And both trim levels of the ZDX will come with 190 kilowatt DC fast charging capability, and within 10 minutes of charging a rear-wheel drive A-Spec, you will be able to get 81 miles of range. I've noticed that Tesla is offering mainstream manufacturers access to charging at the Tesla supercharging stations. I'm sure when Honda Acura start producing more EVs, they will probably get access to Tesla supercharging stations as well. But as of right now, we don't have any specs regarding level 2 home chargers, but fortunately we do have pricing estimates. At least Acura says that a A-Spec model will be priced around $60,000, and the Type S will start at around $70,000. But final prices will be available closer to the end of the year or early 2024 when the vehicle actually goes on sale. So let me know in the comment section, 60 to 70 grand, is that worth spending on the ZDX? 70 grand is what a fully loaded GV70 currently costs with the high performance battery pack. I think that was like 460 to 480 horsepower, something along those lines. So compared to that, I do think a 70K Type S would be worth it, but I'm sure if you optioned it up, there's always going to be options. Type S could be 75, perhaps even 80 grand, who knows? We don't have all of the answers yet. These are still pricing estimates from Acura, but this does look to be worth its price from what we are seeing thus far, especially since Acura knows how to make a proper driving machine. Their chassis control is fantastic. Suspension wise, with certain cars, they tend to go a little over stiff, and that's why the 22-inch wheels kind of concern me, but we'll see how this one performs. But Acura says that the weight distribution is almost 50-50 with the ZDX, but we don't know what the curb weight of this new SUV is going to be. Anyway, let's move on to the interior space, because I appreciate the clean aesthetics, and I'm very happy that they didn't just go full touchscreen with it. This resembles a traditional car experience. We have some buttons and knobs. For the HVAC, we also have a physical volume knob. I know Honda in the past got a lot of scrutiny for getting rid of the volume knobs, but don't worry, the new Honda Acura products do have a physical volume knob, and this is great, ergonomic, easy to use. I'm liking the interior, and apparently the column-mounted gear selector is GM derived. And regarding the tech, we have an 11-inch digital gauge cluster and an 11.3-inch touchscreen for the infotainment. And this infotainment will have Google built in. We'll also have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But one thing that does concern me though is they switched from the ELS audio system to the Bang & Olufsen audio. For those of you who don't know, Acura's ELS audio system is so phenomenal. Even on the entry-level Integra, basically that rebadged Honda Civic, that vehicle has such a high-quality ELS audio system in it. These systems genuinely rival six-figure luxury cars. That's how good these audio systems are. So we'll have to see how this 18-speaker Bang & Olufsen is going to compare. They say that it's specifically designed for the ZDX, and don't get too hung up on the name Bang & Olufsen. Okay, in some cars it sounds like trash, in others it sounds amazing. It's just a name at the end of the day. We can only tell the quality if we experience it firsthand. Anyway, regarding the safety tech, the ZDX will be the first Acura to get automatic parking assist and rear automatic emergency braking. The Type S models will be the first to offer a hands-free cruise, and this is essentially the GM Super Cruise function. They just borrowed that technology, which is fine. People have said great things about GM Super Cruise function, but overall, I do like this SUV, and this seems to be a pretty practical package as well. They showed a little bit of that trunk area with the seats folded down, and it looks decent. It's around 197 inches long total, with about 122 inches for its wheelbase. Should be spacious enough for adults, and being 197 inches long total should fit in most people's garages. So I'm liking this ZDX as a package. Performance seems good. We know that Acura makes some great driving products. We have some legitimate horsepower here, so it should be quick, but my only real concerns is going to be ride quality with the Type S and with the way the 18-speaker Bang & Olufsen is going to sound. Other than that, I think it's a pretty decent vehicle. I would be interested in leasing it, but at the end of the day, it's a full EV. It's not meant for everyone. Not everyone can make it work, but this is the agenda that they're pushing on people. So eventually, once they start making these smart cities, they're going to roll out more of these AI EV cars, and we're just going to be forced into it. That's just the way these people operate. So we'll have to see what the future holds. For right now, if this was like a cheap lease deal car, I wouldn't mind it, but I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Take care and goodbye.